Hey guys, so it is, I believe it's Tuesday, and I started having sinus headache again about 2 or 3 hours ago, and it's just like an intense pressure in my head and in this nasal area, and starting to have an runny nose again, which doesn't have any color to it, but I am back in the bed. I've been on the prednisone for about 5 days. Prednisone will probably help with the inflammation, but if there's an infection in there, it's not going to help with that. So, waiting to hear back from the doctor. Hopefully, he will be able to prescribe me some antibiotics so I can go over to CVS and pick that up or have them deliver that. And yeah, I'm not feeling so hot at the moment. I'm unclear as to whether it's COVID-19 related. I don't think it's lupus related. I'm actually 100% positive that the headache thing is not, that's not going to be lupus related, but so really battling with the whole emergency thing of it. Like, I feel like I have a disease that could possibly kill me, and I won't find out for a couple more days on whether or not it's going to, or whether or not it's going to get bad. And I already tend to be a little bit more on the probably contacting doctors immediately when I notice that something's wrong, because I kind of feel like I know when my body's doing something wrong and I know what I need to fix it, and I don't have the resources to do that. That can only be done through a doctor. And so I do call on them a little bit more often than some, just because I know what treatments that I need and kind of what needs to happen. And being a medical person, you tend to be a little bit more, I wouldn't say drastic in your thinking on where you think your symptoms are going to lead to, but you're vastly aware of the risks of the different things that could happen, that your symptoms could be. So you tend to be a little bit more at risk from thinking that you're dying over something really trivial, just because you know that some of these symptoms can mean some really bad things. So I try to battle that all the time. I try to negate those thoughts that, oh my gosh, this is happening, I could have a tumor. They in med school or in nursing school, that kind of thing, people start seeing their symptoms as being, something horrible. But I try to negate that. I try to battle that all the time, and I'm trying really, really hard in the midst of all this panic to not jump to horrible conclusions, but to try and stay very focused on what is the most likely scenario. Unfortunately, because I had such a humongous exposure to this, the most likely scenario is not necessarily the best scenario in this case. Usually it is. Usually the most likely scenario is that it is something very trivial. And in this case, the most likely scenario is not that it's something very trivial. So anyway, battling the pain. I am debating on whether or not to take Tylenol for the pain. So I don't want to mask anything right now. I kind of want to know if it's getting worse, if I need antibiotics that'll fix it instead of masking it. I'm already taking a risk masking inflammatory systems, or inflammatory symptoms with the prednisone. So that's a calculated risk that I took in the beginning. I knew that if I took the prednisone, that if I had something really major going on, it would probably hide it for a little while. That was intentional. I was really hoping that I could take the prednisone and get home this past weekend, and get out of here, so that it would just mask it long enough for me to get home and stay stable while I'm at home, because I would rather be at my doctor's, my regular doctor, or my regular hospital, if something should happen. But that went on longer than I thought. So it's only Tuesday. I have until Saturday before I can go home. And logically, medically speaking, I think that trying to well, I think at this point I just need to go home. I just need to go home. So I'm not going to think what's medically in the best interest of everybody in the world, because there's not going to be any difference between me traveling right now and me laying in this bed. Not any more risk to other people, as long as I'm not, hugely symptomatic, coughing specifically. So anyway, you guys keep praying and keep supporting each other, and please continue to be the America that we left behind. I heard today that the governor of Florida was denying entry of a cruise ship into his port because he didn't see them as South Floridians. Let me tell you, Mr. Governor, you have relied on the funds from those cruise ships for years and years and years. They support your economy. You don't have an economy without them. And to deny those people medical treatment because they're not your people is disgusting. Is absolutely and utterly disgusting. I want to spit in your face right now. I'm so mad. I can't believe that you would rely on all of their tax dollars for all of this time, and then in the time of need, in their very darkest time of need, when they're reaching their hands out saying, please save us. We have saved you for all these years. Please save us. Please offer us medical care. You are actually considering saying no. I just want to puke. I want to puke. You don't deserve to be governor of that state. You don't deserve any of their resources. And I hope that the cruise industry penalizes you by refusing to use you as ports of call in Florida. That's what I hope. I hope that they refuse anybody that has refused medical care to their passengers. I hope that they say, you know what? We would rather be working with people who in our time of need, we know will be there when we've been there for your time of need. Makes me disgusted.